What is going on, you guys? Today, we are going to be going over exactly how much dividend income I made in the month of October from a $12,700 dividend portfolio. So let's go ahead and jump into my dividend portfolio tracking spreadsheet. If you want to download this spreadsheet for your own use, then you can head over to my Patreon page at the link in the description. Okay, so let's jump over and look at my portfolio holdings tab. And here on my portfolio holdings tab, you'll see that I have a list of all the stocks currently in my dividend portfolio. And next to that, we can see the number of shares and the price that I purchased these stocks at. I didn't add any new capital into these positions over the past month other than capital that I received from dividend reinvestments. And one of the things that I love about this dividend portfolio tracker is if we come over here to the right, you can see we have a list that shows us exactly how much dividend income we expect to make from each of these positions over the next year. And next to that, I also have what industry they're in, which is great for understanding how our portfolio is diversified. So let's go ahead and jump over and look at my portfolio value tab now. And here on my portfolio value tab, there's a couple of different things that we should look at. You can see I started tracking this dividend portfolio back in February, and it was about $7,600 at the time. And since then, it has grown all the way to $13,500. We can see there was a big jump from October to November due to some gains I received in my stocks as well as added capital. If we jump over here and look at my value by industry, you can see this is a pretty well diversified dividend portfolio. We have a lot of capital in financials and in real estate and in consumer staples, but we do also have some positions in ETFs, information technology, in energy, and healthcare. If we come over here and look at our next chart, you can see this chart is showing us our gains as a percentage and as a dollar for each of our dividend portfolio positions. And just at a glance, you can tell there's about 3 positions that have been my largest gainers in this dividend portfolio. And the number one gainer has been Coca-Cola. I'm currently up over $200 on this position. And on this orange line chart, we can see it as a percent gain. So it's currently up at about 16 or 17%. The other position that has been a very large gainer for me is O, which is a real estate investment trust. You can see I'm up about $170 on it, and I'm up about 10% on it as well. Then if we come over here to AB, Alliance Bernstein, you can see I'm up about $120, and I'm actually up over 40% on this position. And on this next chart, this is a really important chart because it's going to show us our value by individual holdings, and we can see which positions take up the majority of my portfolio. Unfortunately, like I mentioned, Coca-Cola is one of my biggest gainers, and it's also one of the biggest positions in my portfolio, coming in at about 17%. I also have O, which is the REIT that I just mentioned, taking up about almost 13% of my portfolio. Then we have a position you can see here in QYLD. It's taking up about 3.5% of my portfolio. That's a position that I look on increasing in the coming months as well. And you can see other than this, it's a fairly well diversified portfolio. There's likely some other new positions that I'll look into adding in the coming days as well. And over here, we can just see some summaries of my dividend portfolio's value overall. The current value is currently $13,000. It's currently gone down just a little bit over the past few days due to some fears to COVID, but this is a good reminder that the focus of any dividend portfolio should not just be the portfolio value, but creating a consistent dividend income stream from month to month. We can see my portfolio cost is $12,700, and so I'm currently up 2.15% with an unrealized gain of $274. So now let's go ahead and look at what everyone wants to see, which is my Dividend Outlook tab. And here on my Dividend Outlook tab, I'm tracking some really important metrics, but probably the most important is my historical monthly dividend income. If we come over here, you can see that for the month of November, I received $88.53 for my dividend income, which is the second highest amount that I've ever received, just behind last month, which was $98.01. So I'm getting pretty close to that $100 mark. If we come over here, you can see my expected dividend income by industry. This is another way to kind of understand the risk and the diversification of your dividend portfolio. And currently, most of my dividend income is currently coming from the financial sector, which is almost at $300 of dividend income. I also have real estate coming in at second and consumer staples a close third. Both of those are bringing in about $175 in dividend income. If we jump over here to the right, we can see a chart showing my dividend yield on cost. So this means that's going to be the dividend yield of each of these stocks at the time that I purchased the stock. And by far my largest dividend yield on cost is currently my covered call ETF QYLD, and it has a dividend yield of about 12.5%. And you can see I have a few positions with pretty large dividend yields on cost in this portfolio. We have positions in AB, which is AllianceBernstein, ACRE, that's going to be a REIT, EPD, which is an energy stock with about a 7.5% dividend yield. We have a position in Goldman Sachs Business Development, that's about a 9% dividend yield. We have a couple of more typical dividend stocks in J&J, KHC, and KO, which do have lower dividend yields, but they'll likely continue to increase their dividend payouts. We have positions in stocks like MO, which is Altria Group. We have Annaly Capital Management with about a 10% dividend yield on cost. We have OHI and PSEC, which all have fairly large dividend yields on cost as well. And if we jump over to this next chart, we can see our expected yearly dividend income from each of these positions. And I have quite a few positions you can see over $50 of yearly dividend income, with the largest being ACRE, which is a REIT, and I'm receiving right at $100 each year from that position. Other positions that I have that are over $50, we have KO, Coca-Cola, we have Altria Group, Annaly Capital Management, we have O, which is a REIT, we have Omega Healthcare Investors at a pretty large amount. It's actually over $75. We have PSEC, which is getting close to $50. And we also have Verizon and QYLD over $50. You can see right in this area, I have some more typical dividend investments like J&J, KHC, KO. Each of these positions do have lower dividend yields, but they'll likely increase their dividend payouts in the years to come. And if we come over here, we can see some summaries of my dividend outlook. So my current expected yearly dividend income is right at $800, which I feel like is a pretty decent amount for the size of my portfolio. My dividend income year to date is currently $464, with an average monthly payout in dividends of $65. My highest month of dividend income, which we can see over here, was last month at $98.10, and the current portfolio dividend yield is 6.05%. And for this year, I have received a total amount of dividend payouts of 48 dividend payouts. And if we quickly jump over to my dividend portfolio / recording tab, we can see exactly which stocks paid me dividends this month right here. So I received payments from Verizon, Apple, EPD, MAIN, OHI, PSEC, KD, AB, and QYLD, which is a covered call ETF that I'll likely be making a video on in the near future. So there you have it. That is exactly how much dividend income I made for the month of November, with $12,700 currently invested into my dividend portfolio. Was the amount I made more or less than you were expecting? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you'd like to be able to download this dividend portfolio tracker, then you can head over to my Patreon page at the link in the description. So that being said, thank you guys so much for watching the video, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.